I am darn lucky because I am joined by two legendary New York superstars, Suki Krishnan and Scott Stanford, joining me in studio today. Hello, friends.
I gotta tell you, Jerry, this is great.
Here we go.
Great, Jerry. I don't need nothing. Nothing but this drink.
Suki and Scott are here. You know them, of course, formerly from Pix 11. There's like a whole boatload of Emmy Awards, 7, 8.
I think it's 14 between us.
14,
but,
okay.
We don't really keep track. We don't.
This
keep
is
track.
it's a great honor to have you here, guys.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, this is
We've done Liquid Lunch, but never on television.
Yeah, well, this is the way we do it. You know, we're coming to you live as we do every day from the Hooters studios, and we're well fortified today. Iconic Brands just sent us down a whole nother case of good stuff. We're going to try to polish that off today.
I got no problem with that.
I don't know if I ever saw you guys on air drunk, but let's try to get it going.
It's always the first, my friend.
So, my brother Derek is headed over to City Hall right now. Scott Lebedo, local artist from Staten Island, is doing an unveiling of his take on the mayor's portrait. We'll see how that turns out. He's going to Skype in a little while. So, guys, you're now launching this new podcast that you're doing. It's been received with tremendous fanfare. You've only been doing it for a few weeks.
And you know what the most amazing thing is? We put our heads together, John, for like 2 months, coming up with names, throwing them in a hat, coming in hot. Almost live. We had so many names, and we came up with the most creative name we could possibly think of. The Suki and Scott Show.
Damn.
It is
It's really
absolutely,
cool.
it's pure genius,
I think it
my
hits
friend.
the spot.
I don't know why I didn't grab that up before you guys.
We trademarked it already.
Somehow or
Suki
another,
already
came
put
up
in
with
the
this Liquid
trademark.
Lunch thing.
I got a trademark deal
Well, you
already.
got the alliteration going. You know, I got Money Monday.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got Terrific Tuesday.
Do you think alliteration is the whole key?
Yeah, I think so. I got Women Wednesday. I got Thirsty Thursday. I got Freaky
Nice.
Friday. So, you know,
Nice.
I'm trying to milk the alliteration for all I can.
I know.
So,
I know, but we've been working together for a very long time, and then, you know, just kind of like the avenues collided were for us to collaborate and create new content. And like you know, content is king. And so, you know, our fan base was like, why don't you guys get back together? So
Yes.
they asked, and we showed up.
ask and you shall receive.
Really?
Listen, I was so despondent before I ran it. I was on the verge of going into adult films, but Suki
I told him not yet.
She pulled me right out before I jumped into it. So thank
just
God
told
I'm still on the up and
I
up.
said, stick to the TikToks for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's quick, easy, in, out, you know. You don't have to go anywhere
I think he
else.
said something about adult.
I know. That's why I said stick to the
Yeah,
TikToks.
She said stick with the TikTok.
We were talking a little before the show about this whole Spike Lee stuff. Spike Lee,
yeah.
he's like, you know, been for years a staple at the Garden. He's got his, you know, courtside seats.
Of course,
He's
the
always, you know,
Knicks,
the
yeah.
number one guy. Scott, you were mentioning that he got bounced.
Well, he you know what happened? You know, when we as the media, John, you know, you have that entrance, that employee entrance on 33rd Street with the green awning.
You can go in.
Spike was going in that entrance for the last 20 years. He spends $200,000 a year
Courtside
on
seats, yeah.
He went in the other night, scanned his ticket. He went into the elevator, and the security guard said, you have to come out of the elevator. You can't come in this way anymore. They wanted Spike to go around the Garden out to this VIP entrance, which is very nice.
Okay.
Spike said, first of all, if I leave the building, you're not letting
not
me
coming
back
back.
in because I already have the ticket scanned. And then he had this whole thing with Dolan. Knicks put out a press release because Spike put up a whole big stink about it, right? And so now he says he's not going back. He was putting his hands behind his back. Arrest me. You want to throw me out like, you know, like Oakley. And the Knicks put out a statement, said, you know, everything Spike said is ridiculous. We look forward to having him back. He says he's not going back until
But he
maybe
has
next
video
year.
of it, so obviously there was some sort of altercation that occurred. I mean, let me tell you something. If you've been doing something for 20 plus years,
He's their
paying that
mascot.
he is their mascot.
Without a doubt. I know that.
Why would they
Everybody
do
knows.
something like that unless the security guy was new on the job? I wonder if he still has his job.
No, it was all based on Dolan. And one of the things that I had
based on
heard,
Dolan.
one of the things that I had heard is that the Knicks are, you know how everybody associates Spike Lee as the most famous Knick fan, most loyal Knick fan. Well, from what I understand, they wanted to extract Spike out of that position, even though it's a not official position, because the Toronto Raptors now have gone younger. They've got Drake as their guy. And I think, from what I understand,
I see.
Spike doesn't really resonate with the younger viewers.
So you're saying ageism is
So
playing
no,
out on
Suki,
courtside
never,
seats?
never. So that's
The Knicks are
what-
looking for a younger
They
mascot.
want
than
somebody
Spike
younger.
Lee?
Yes.
What's
They-
going to happen to Jack Nicholson?
Right, would the Lakers ever
Yeah.
treat Jack Nicholson this
No
way?
way.
Not in a million
No
years.
way.
Not in a million
Nicholson.
years.
I mean,
I mean, isn't that he the unofficial mascot?
yeah, I think
Courtside
he's
seats,
a
him,
lot.
Leo.
I think he's a lot more legendary, Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
than Spike
absolutely.
Lee. And Spike Lee's a legend in in his own right.
New
but
York
in
rights.
New York for sure.
Yeah.
Like you guys. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Legendary.
well, yeah, legendary.
Right
We
at
walk
top,
down
yeah.
the streets thinking that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Well, when Butch told me that you guys might come in, everybody was all excited because.
Listen, we were thinking about taking over the studio, if that's all right with you.
Well, I know right now that you guys are doing some great work over at Steiner Studios.
Yes,
we are.
yes.
Brandon Steiner's a great friend
CX
of.
collectibleexchange.com. And the folks at Steiner letting us use their place, and it's an undisclosed location.
Collectible Exchange with an
With an
X.
X, yeah,
Right,
or
Undisclosed location,
cxstuff.com.
please don't show up.
Yeah.
Because people would show up.
Yeah, well, we have an
We're
issue.
gonna welcome that at some time.
We have an issue here
People
because
pop up?
people kind of figure out where we
Yeah.
are, and there's always these whacked out liberal protests going on over at City Hall. So one day there'll be people dressed up out there as like windmills when they're having like some climate change thing. Another day you got all union workers outside.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see me sitting here with my trademark Trump pen, which I use on the
my mother, John,
NEWSMAX
would have a
show.
heart attack from that pen.
And then they see NEWSMAX and they see the Trump pen, and all kinds of things are happening. We had a
Yeah.
couple of vandals actually who were like hanging signs across the street. Trump sucks. And like they must have been watching.
Of course.
Because they had it placed across the street. There was a dumpster over there, and they were putting a sign, "Trump sucks," and it was like right here over my shoulder, but it was in the shot. So we rip it down. Come in tomorrow. There's another one there.
Yeah. But listen, our show, we are actually the total opposite of what you do sometimes. You do politics, you do markets. We do all the other stuff.
Yeah, we
Right, all the
sing.
fun
do
stuff.
not only the fun stuff, but kind of the things that people are talking about. Coronavirus. He didn't want to talk about that. We talk about that. We talk about the snowstorms that are happening in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Or didn't
all
happen.
the uplifting.
The
Uplifting
coronavirus, to me, I've been talking about it on the NEWSMAX show for weeks now, and it's having a pronounced effect on the market,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? The
Absolutely.
market's
and the
fine.
American psyche.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like the media almost foments this stuff by keep talking about it. I think there's 10 deaths in the U.S.
I don't know for
or something?
sure, but I mean,
About 10 in the
there's about
U.S.,
10.
and every day you hear of another county in the
well,
New York area, New Jersey.
New
and
Rochelle has more
this
cases of it. I mean, there's
it just
a lot.
keeps popping
there's
up.
a lot
so
to worry
it's
about.
scary. It's very
I had
scary.
Dr. Eric Braverman on last week. He's, big time doctor, and he said, to be honest with you, it's something to think about, but like 40,000 people died in America last year from the flu.
Right.
Just
But
a
this
regular
is-
flu.
But what they do say, the coronavirus is a little bit more virulent, and the death rate is higher if you are immunosuppressed, and if you have lung conditions and things like that. You're elderly, the very young, the very vulnerable. So I mean, that's too. But look at how many people there are in New York City. We're like packed in. We're close to each other.
Yeah.
So if the germaphobe in you exists, the virus then kind of propagates and creates more hysteria.
I love when she says propagate.
Propagates.
Love it. I really do. She's great with those words. Can I have more,
Maybe-
can I have more tequila?
Maybe
high
the folks
school.
at
New York high
maybe the
school's a
folks
fight.
at the
That's true. New York High
maybe the
School out of
folks at the
Staten Island.
Garden, maybe they thought Spike was carrying the
Carrying?
corona or something like that. Maybe that's why they chucked him.
Yeah. No, listen. That whole thing, it just makes the folks at the Garden look silly, and with all the
But Dolan's had so much beef.
all the disappointment that they
Barkley,
have
do
right
you think
now.
he's learned his lesson after Barkley?
You would think he'd
You
learn
would
his
think he
lesson,
wouldn't have
but
touched Spike Lee, but I guess
He doesn't. He doesn't learn his lesson, and the fans always revolt. They haven't had a good product there in 20 years. They won one playoff game in 20 years.
Oh my
so
God, I know. And
it
now
just all builds upon
there's
each
this
other.
rumor floating around that he's thinking about buying the Mets, and I'm a Met fan, right? That's the last thing
Yeah,
we
no,
need. I mean,
no.
if we can get worse, it's
Yeah.
guaranteed. If we bring in
The Wilpons look like George Steinbrenner compared to.
yeah, oh my God,
Nolan.
we don't. This guy is like legendary at destroying franchises. You know what
But
I mean?
he spends money, but he always, see what happens with the Rangers? He doesn't get involved with the Rangers. He lets them run themselves.
They're doing
He's
okay.
always involved with the Knicks.
Yep.
And he gets himself in there, and he'll spend the money, The fans have to appreciate that, but it's always on the wrong things.
I think he had made a big mistake with the Charles Oakley thing. I mean, everybody loves the Oak.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying?
You can't. You're never going to win if you treat a legendary player like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So you guys do your podcast once a week?
Once a week right now. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, we only have 4 episodes. So
Yeah.
we're kind of new in the game. So
Can
we're trying
I,
to up it. You have any advice for us?
I don't want to. I don't want to bump out my friend Brandon Steiner, but could I maybe interest you guys and possibly
I
bring
like
your
you.
show
I'm
down
feeling
here every so
John.
often?
I'm feeling comfortable on this.
You know, we
I
could
feel
have a little
good.
live audience if you want
Yeah.
over there. We might even be
There's a
able
lot
to.
of possibilities.
Yeah, and we may even be able to talk our good friend Chucky D
Oh my
into
gosh,
coming down
we're-
one day
I
for a
have-
guest appearance. Staten Island Chuck.
How is he doing? Staten Island
He's
Chuck?
doing great. You know,
still
he's
keep in touch?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
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 a
it's
really,
incredible.
really good friend of mine, Chuck, and you know, he's
So-
over at NBC now. He's
NBC,
on the
yeah.
Today Show with Michael Gardula.
God.
And he's,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, great guy, colorful
He's a good,
character
colorful
for sure.
character.
You know,
Did he ever get married?
he's not married.
All
No.
right.
Johnny, the only thing I would ask is if we do use the studio, maybe a little helicopter, something that
you
can get
need
us
to
in a
get
little,
down
little
here.
quicker. You know what I mean?
No, but this is awesome. This is awesome, and the fact that we haven't seen you since you were on
Yeah.
Pix a long time
And
ago.
this show's
Like,
blowing
like
up.
2010.
Yeah, like I was gonna say.
Yeah, 2009,
Yeah, yeah.
2010.
10,
But
yeah.
I've been on Pix 11 since then.
Oh, I'm
not with
sorry.
you guys,
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
just not the same.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, it's just not the same.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what do you have in store? When will your next edition come out on the podcast?
We've been coming out every Wednesday night. We shoot on Wednesday mornings. We try to keep it more generic so it lives, for a couple of days after that. So we'll be back on Wednesdays. And the audience, our viewers who loved us at Pix, and the new people who are picking up the show, what they say, John, is that they feel like they're hanging out with 2 pals who were just shooting the shaving cream. Going over,
Shooting the shaving
Well, I didn't
cream.
want to say the other word.
This is
but-
the online edition,
Yeah.
so I mean, we are allowed to have a little more liberty with language,
No,
but we
but-
try to keep it PG.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's one of those things where we want to make it feel like,
Home.
you
Energy,
feel like home.
friends, we're
People
hanging
are
out.
hanging out with your friends. We goof around. We do hit some serious topics. But it's mostly what, people, we're just 2 normal people, raising our kids
All
and
right,
our
well then you guys
spouses.
can't. It's not going to work here. If you're normal, we're way out.
Well, that's why I need more tequila. If,
We're not
you
looking
guys
for
are
any
holding out on me.
normalcy
Hold
here.
on,
Well,
Suki.
I've met a few people here.
Suki's not drinking her.
You come in for a liquid lunch, you got to partake a little bit,
No, but seriously, I mean, I just think like the way the world is right now, creating your own lane, kind of like what you're doing yourself. You have to create your own content. And I think there's an audience out there that will follow you. If the content is what interests them, they're not going to traditional media sites anymore. We all know that we all live on our phone. That's how we communicate.
No doubt
so,
about it.
Scotty and I have a pretty honest audience who loves us, and we're continuing to grow that audience.
Yeah.
Just like you are in what you're doing with Liquid Lunch.
Yeah, we're trying, and I feel like sometimes, we're on NEWSMAX every day from 1 to 2. We do the 12 to 1 pregame here online. I feel like we actually get more room to roam
To breathe.
online,
absolutely.
and you're not getting kind of cornered into.
Well, television is a tough game, right? You've got commercials you got to play, you got people you have to deal with, and good or bad, it is what it is. It's a beautiful medium, and we were very successful in it. Not to say that we would never want to do television again, but I think more and more we understand that ourselves, as 2 people, our content ourselves, by ourselves, meaning him as his content.
Meaning him as the
chapter
guy who's
1, and I'm
keeps
chapter 2. If you get what I'm saying.
with your alcohol.
That's good. That's good, John.
Look,
We may have started something.
I
here.
know, I know,
You
yeah,
guys
it's gone.
may have to have a cocktail here and there on the.
I have a question for you, and I know we didn't
Rock
want to
and
get
roll it.
political, but I want you to give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Can Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in the presidential election? I just want you to give me your thoughts for 30 seconds.
My
on
30
that.
seconds is this. No, the answer is no. And the answer is the establishment even knows that. That Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, they've made a decision here, in my view, that they'd rather have Joe Biden run and get beat and sacrifice 4 years than hand over the reins to Bernie Sanders and that revolutionary part
Okay.
of the party. And I think, they're taking one for the team here. And Joe Biden, I don't think he even realizes that, he's the GOAT, he's
Yeah.
the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But it looks to me, the way everyone fled, All of a sudden, they open that
Everybody
lane.
dropped
Klobuchar,
out. Everybody.
Klobuchar,
yeah.
Buttigieg, boom,
what I
boom,
said,
boom, boom,
yeah.
boom. Let's keep pushing. You know, I call it weekend at Biden's. You know what I'm saying? Remember in Weekend at Bernie's when
Yeah.
when they like have
Yep.
him like bouncing around like this? See how energized he is lately? Like the last couple days, he's out there yelling and screaming.
right,
it's
right.
it's like they jolted him. You know what I mean? And he doesn't realize that they're going to just wheel him out there. They're going to put up with Trump for another 4 years, in my view. And then they're looking at 2024, you know, Michelle Obama, you know, there's a whole host of people. But I don't think Joe has a chance, personally. I mean, you know, Donald Trump is he's such an oddity that no one knows how to deal with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I support his economic policies. I hate his twittering policies.
Yeah.
I hate that he has to double and triple down on everything.
Yep.
But to me, the economy's good. People are doing better. I feel like that, you know? And he's just such you know, what markets and everything, what do we hate? Uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? And you just never know what he's going to do next. I don't think Biden is qualified to keep up with his nuttiness, you know? So, sorry that wasn't 30 seconds.
That was a lot.
I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. John's got more.
So, welcome to the Scott and Suki show, the Suki and Scott show. I'm John Tabacco, joining them today. So, what do you say maybe before you? I know you guys got to get somewhere else,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
really
absolutely.
appreciate you coming down, gracing us, and. What do you say we put our heads together and maybe try to figure out maybe once a month or you know whenever you guys want, but
Absolutely,
maybe
I
we'll
like it.
promote it a little in
Yeah,
advance. Say
absolutely.
you got you know maybe once a month.
You got a
come
great
visit.
shop. You got a great team. I was talking to everybody
We
over
could
here.
put our faces in the monitors back here.
If you want, for sure. My main man, my right-hand man, Frank Morano, just joined us
now.
now.
You're working with two Staten Island.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
right.
ever think
And
about
Frank,
that?
I don't know if you
thought
know,
one was
but
enough.
Sukanya,
Yeah.
she abandoned us. She's not even a Staten Islander anymore. She's
I
a
know,
Westchesterite. So,
terrible.
I mean, it's all right. Nico's holding up a sign. Derek is
Derek,
Skyping
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Derek,
Go
two-shot.
to two-shot. See, these
Yeah,
are the
let's go
things
to
you
let's
can
see
do
where
on
he
the
is.
online
Let's see
show.
how he's doing.
All right. We're going to keep, no, I know that. We're going to keep you guys posted on when we get these two greats right here back in our studio. Scott may never leave, to
Yeah,
be honest
he's-
with you,
he's
because
finished
we
my
have.
drink.
like,
This is the most amazing program I've ever been on, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is it's just vodka.
Sukanya Krishnan, and
you.
Scott Stanford, thank you so much
Thank
for
you, it's
joining
awesome.
us.
John,
Really
thank you, buddy.
appreciate it.
This was
Thank
great.
You guys, I'm dead serious.
Thanks, John.
Anytime you want to come down
Thank
here,
you.
reach out. You know, it doesn't even have to be whatever day you want. You come down, we'll promote it a little advance. I'm sure we'll have all autograph seekers outside. I actually put this up today
what
for
do
you
you have?
guys,
What do you
just
have? No
because you
autographs?
guys were coming.
No
I
autographs.
put this up.
Folks, go away. No, please, go away. Go away, ladies and gentlemen.
That's funny.
I knew you guys were coming in,
That's
so.
funny.
Love it.
We're not often getting autograph seekers, but the sign's kind of funny. But
It is.
Guys, I want to thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Thanks,
us.
John.
Dead
Appreciate
serious.
it.
The door's always
Yeah.
open. The welcome mat
Thank
is
you.
out.
Thank
if you have
you.
any other ideas, you want to come try it out, come on down anytime.
I'll be in the corner drinking if you're looking for
All
me.
right, Scott's going to go to the bar. Suki's going to go
Good to
somewhere.
have
She's the brains of the operation anyway, so we'll keep Scott here at the bar so you can be a little more efficient.